give Harry a break, says Andy. He's had a disappointing week. He was hoping that repulsive Khan, this is Sadiq Khan, would name one of the train routes H&M line. It has damaged his mental health. It probably has. Or the Sussex line. But then they'd probably expect it to go to Sussex. Mind you, that would be just as relevant to some of the other names they've chosen for those lines. We'll talk about that story, actually. I'd love to know what you would have chosen. I mean, a lot of people have pointed out this week the stabbing line, the crime line, the mate line, the ULEZ line, definitely the ULEZ line. I'm going to say I quite like the Windrush line. I think that's quite nice. I think that is such a massive movement when it comes to the UK. And I think that some of the people who came over with Windrush were so appallingly treated that actually I quite like Windrush. It's something that is relevant. But some of the others, the Suffragette line, I don't know how I feel about saying I'm just going to get on a Suffragette. I don't think that's very appropriate. I'm going to jump on the Suffragette. Are you? And also, weren't the Suffragettes the ones that were actually quite militant? It was the other ones, the the Suffragettes came along and made the movement, I thought, quite toxic. Because there was another movement before they were Suffragettes. And I can't remember what they were called. But a lot of people have said, well, hang on, the Suffragettes actually sort of bombed people and were probably seen as at the time like quite a terrorist movement. And the movement itself was hijacked by Suffragettes when it was making progress with its previous incarnation called Suffra something else. And so actually maybe that would have been a more appropriate way of doing it. The Lioness line. I mean, that is such a massive virtue signal. I mean, do I care that much? Not hugely, I suppose. And it was pointed out brilliantly this week as well that if you live outside of London, you're probably rolling your eyes going, yeah, we just love a train line. We wouldn't care what we called it. Can we please just have a train? Did you find out what it was called? It was the movement prior to suffragettes. No, it was called Suffra something else. And I can't remember what it was. Maybe just the suffrage campaign, but then the suffrage line. I can't remember what it was, but there was a movement before the suffragettes, and that was the one that was not violent. Okay, it's amazing how some people in life can be very money poor and have the most loves and contented family life and happy life with people that mean something. Harry and Meghan are desperate for money, fame, attention, all the attributes of people that will never be happy with anything in their lives. Thank you for that. Oh, lots of you are telling me as well about the Reform Party, which I'll get to in a moment. What else have we got here as well when it comes to some of the train lines? I don't like the sound of that Windrush line. They'll promise you it's brilliant at the other end, and then when you get hit there, they'll steal all your documents and send you home. We didn't treat people with Windrush very nicely. Liberty line is quite nice as well. I call it like Liberty, though I don't know what Liberty's got to do with the borough of Havering. I mean, it all seems very, very convoluted. And what was the other one? The Mildmay line, because of the clinic that looked after gay people in the 80s who had HIV, which is very specific. I mean, couldn't we just have called it the gay line? Why couldn't we have just called it the gay line? Oh, no, we couldn't have called it the gay line. It would have had to have been the LGBTQI plus QIA plus line, which for tourists would have been a nightmare. Can we? I want to get the LGBT line, please. Could you imagine? But why couldn't we have had a gay line? You know, just for gays. Only the gays. Oh my God, it would be the cleanest line. It would be so clean, and there'd be disco music constantly pumping. Honestly, it would be amazing. Can you imagine? I want the gay line. You have to go in shirtless with disco music. It would be so clean. And literally, and then the moment you went in a tunnel, a glitter ball would come down. It would be like the George Michael video. There'd be a glitter ball in your urinal and everyone would start dancing. That would be amazing. Let's have a gay line. Yeah. With sort of disco music and everyone would just be fabulous. If you were poorly dressed, you'd be thrown off the gay line. We'd have none of that. We would have a couple of gays with attitude at the doors. You open the door. No, you're not coming on this line. You're not. That would have been better than the Mildmay line. So I'm gonna campaign for that. I want a gay line on the Overground. Thank you. I really do. The vanity line, says Pauline as well. Well, that could be the gay line. There'd be mirrors above every single seat as well. Be amazing. What else would there be? You know, I was going to say something naughty then, but I'm not. Contraceptives, right, left and centre on every seat. There'd be a contraceptive as well for you, just in case, you know, you have a little bit of a nice experience. There wouldn't be seats. There'd just be beds. Yeah, you could have bumpers. You could also have one carriage for, you know, you could have a fetish carriage as well, where, you know, you don't have seats, you just have sort of handcuffs. No? All right. You could. I think I'm up for the gay line. I think this could be a brilliant thing. Sadiq Khan really missed out with that. Just think of the number of gays, and that would have to go. Where would it go through? Go through Vauxhall, Soho, Hampstead, definitely through that park as well. A few other parts of London as well that could go through. It'd be brilliant. How about the hypocrisy line? Thank you for that one as well. It's unbelievable. Yeah, no, the gay line. Thank you. Line for the gays. The runt line. Thank you. Suffragists. That was it as well. The suffragist line. Thank you, Kevin. You're absolutely right. It was the suffragist movement. And then it became the suffragettes. And the suffragist movement was a political movement to get people voting, to give equal rights to women voting. And then the suffragettes were considered, as you would today, if you were to do the description of the suffragettes today, they would be considered a terrorist group. They would. So there you go. Thank you very much indeed for that one. David has a fundamental objection to spending taxpayers' money on vanity schemes. In respect to that, thank you. And a few others here as well. Lots of you coming up with the Reform Party. I will read those, by the way. I absolutely will read those. And lots of you calling in as well. Should we have a call? Let's have a call. Give me a call. I'll have a call. We got a call from someone? Should we do the appeal of the Reform Party? Because they were quite a good week this week. They've been obviously performing in 2 by-elections where they had a respectable result in both, I have to say. Ben Habib came 3rd in Wellingborough. It's also a good showing on the other one. And we've been talking about what the appeal is. Now, Shannara says, Reform UK appeal to far right extremists. No one cares what the Royals do. They're not real people. Thank you for that one as well. Let's go to Carl in Amersham. Hi there, Carl.
Yeah, hi, Cristo. Hi, very interesting programme.
Thank you. Now, you want to talk about Harry, don't you?
I would avoid him like the plague. How you sort of invite someone else into your house that was burgled at once already, and that's the sort of analogy I use. The guy is sort of Harry with a capital H, meaning hypocrite. The guy dressed as a Nazi, SS guy. He called the P word to one of his colleagues in Sandhurst.
He did, and now he wants to lecture about unconscious bias.
I'm cuddly, I'm changed. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's it. Avoid him like the plague. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, he didn't display unconscious bias. He just displayed bias. I mean, that wasn't unconscious. Wearing a Nazi outfit is not unconscious bias.
No, of course not. And he said, oh, no, my brother convinced me to do it.
Yeah, he said
Christ,
that Kate and William didn't stop him, so it's their fault.
Oh, no. Avoid him like the plague. I'm sorry. You're a burglar. You burgled my house. I'm not going to give you a second chance. Sorry. On your bike, mate.
He's become such a repellent little character. He really has. Nothing's his fault. He doesn't have to take responsibility for anything, and he only pops up when there's money involved, where he can get his greasy little fingers on some more money, and that's basically it. That's now his job.
Singing from the same choir sheet. Singing from the same sheet. Well done, Cristo.
Thank you, Carl. Nice to hear from you. That's Carl in Amersham. If we go down your rabbit hole, as much fun as a gay line sounds, no one would ever get off. And Carol says we'd require a dogging line for balance, seeing that we're incorporating parks. Thank you, Carol. I don't know whether we can have that. But no, you're right, no one would get off the gay line. It would be like a nightclub. You'd open the doors and it'll be like, wow, my God, it'd be like going into one of those nightclubs, Fire or something like that in Vauxhall. God, when I used to do an overnight show, I used to go home so I'd probably pass Vauxhall about 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, and there'd be people going out to Fire. I mean, years ago, I used to be one of those people. And you'd be like, my God, they're literally, it would look like an episode of Casualty, because there'd be people like, a little bit worse for wear, shall we say, going out at that time. Quite unbelievable that you'd see that. Sometimes I see it when I'm on my way home from this show as well. Unbelievable. Just imagine how fun that would be on a gay line. I'm absolutely loving that. No one would ever get off. Everyone would be well dressed. It would be so spotlessly clean. Oh my word, it would be so clean. It would be the only tube line where people get on and leave it cleaner than when they get off. Do you know what I mean? It would be actually improved.